Kia ora team, my name's Ben and let's talk stroke. So what is a stroke? You can think of a stroke as like a heart attack in your brain or a brain attack. So what it is, it's an impairment of cerebral circulation causing damage to the brain. The difference between a stroke and a TIA, a transient ischemic attack, is with a TIA, the symptoms are going to disappear within 24 hours. So no permanent damage in the brain, whereas with a stroke, the brain is going to be damaged. So the two main types of stroke, we have ischemic, which is an obstruction of blood flow, and this is our most common, and then we have haemorrhagic, which is a rupture of a cerebral blood vessel, and these tend to be more fatal. Let's talk about our ischemic first. So we have two main types of our ischemic stroke. Thrombotic, which is where we get a thrombus or a blood clot in a cerebral artery or an intracranial vessel, and this blocks the blood flow, leading to infarction of tissue. So that's our thrombotic. And then embolic, we get a thrombus or a fatty plaque from elsewhere in the body, and it breaks off and it floats through the circulation and then enters our cerebral circulation and blocks a smaller blood vessel. Thrombotic, blood clot within the brain tissue. Embolic is our blood clot from elsewhere in the body that then floats through and embeds in our cerebral circulation. The most common form of embolic stroke is atrial fibrillation. So when the atrium isn't contracting properly, the blood becomes stagnant in the heart and a clot can form. Then if that clot makes its way out of the atrium into the ventricle and then heads up into the brain. So remember, this would be the left side of the heart, because the left side of the heart receives the blood from the lungs and then transports it to the body. Whereas on the right side, it receives blood from the body and then transports it to the lungs. So if this situation happened in the right side, then we'd get a pulmonary embolism, not a stroke. All right, then hemorrhagic. Our two main types, subarachnoid. So remember, sub means below, and arachnoid is one of the layers of our meninges. So this is just a bleed into the subarachnoid space, and your client will describe the worst headache of their life. And then we have intracerebral, so intra within cerebral brain. So this is where we get a bleeding into the brain tissue itself. All right, team, that's stroke in a nutshell. Happy studying.